Before you know it, heavy equipment will be hitting the road for spring field work, and there are some important rules to follow to keep everyone safe. Regional Dairy Educator Erica Bierstrom is here, along with Sheriff Matt Joske from the Kewaunee County Sheriff's Department. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
I noticed, Erica, in your newsletter, which if you don't subscribe, you need to do it because it's always packed full of goodies. There's an upcoming meeting.
Yes. We have a couple of meetings coming
up.
But we have the Implements of Husbandry meeting coming up in Kewaunee County, and that's on March 20th at 6:30 p.m. at the Kewaunee County Highway Shop.
For our non-farming viewers, Implements of Husbandry, this is not a marriage seminar. We are talking about what and why.
Basically, any kind of vehicle that's on the road that is used to make a farm work, and any kind of equipment, tractors, trucks, anything. So that's what an implement of husbandry is.
I know this is the abridged version, Sheriff, but if you had some big key points that if people aren't maybe attending this meeting or just want that refresher, what would they be?
Absolutely. We really want to talk about relationships that these haulers, these producers, the farms themselves, the relationships they have with their community as far as the use of the roads, as well as with their jurisdictional government, each township, the county, the state, to make sure that everybody fully understands the expectations, what needs to be done, some of the good points to keep those roads safe. And again, not to become an impediment to those who are doing some vital work in our communities, getting those crops planted, harvested, the nutrient management programs, that's all important stuff, but we have to make sure safety is paramount.
And there are in fact laws on the books about this when it comes to weights and widths and restrictions. Let's talk about a few of those when they might need to make a call before moving that equipment.
Absolutely. So we talk about weight restrictions is the big one. A lot of these tertiary roads were just not built for some of the equipment we've seen come about in the last 2 to 3 decades. So we've got to respect that. We have to respect that those roads can only take so much. And it's that jurisdiction that understands it. They know what they can take. They need to work together. And that may mean the difference between just changing a route, where you're running full versus where you're running empty. And it's that relationship, again, that's going to allow those roads to maintain their integrity and just to keep those relationships solid.
Erica, we've been speaking a lot to the farmers, but everyone out here is also just a person on the road at some point in time during their day. What messages do you have for them? Patience is a lot of it.
Patience is a lot for sure, but also understanding, trying to have some kind of vision ahead of where people are driving, and understanding that equipment is very wide. It needs to swing out just like a semi. It needs to swing out to pull into the right side. If they're driving on the shoulder, which they're not required to, if they're driving on the shoulder, they may encounter a mailbox. They may need to go around that. Please use safe driving practices and have patience and be aware, because it's not all farm equipment is required to have lighting, but depending on what time of the day they're operating, but just be aware and be patient.
Good segue to lighting. That's another critical component. Certainly some of those older pieces of equipment didn't have all of the same specs as they do today, but we've even modified a lot on our farm. There's tapes, there's stick-ons, there's magnetized lights. You can really do a lot.
Absolutely. And, even if you don't have those, it may go even a step further. Let's say the lighting for some reason goes out. It's obstructed. Understand those things, and then maybe even creating a trail vehicle, somebody that's escorting that equipment to and from the field if you know that for some reason maybe visibility is limited. Maybe it's even the weather itself. Again, it's a matter of creating that culture of safety. We all understand the need of urgency. I grew up on a dairy farm. Yeah. You're working against nature, you're working against, maturity of crops, a lot of pressures, but we can never sacrifice safety in pursuit of those other goals.
And Erica, I've heard it might feel like a long time, but if you're stuck behind a tractor, it's like the same as waiting for 1 or 2 red lights, right?
I believe the thought process is that if you're behind a tractor for a minute or 2, it's really essentially the same as sitting at a stoplight. So, and there's only one stoplight in Kewaunee County, so you don't have to wait very long.
You don't have to wait for that one. All right, well, you can ask all of your questions at that upcoming meeting. It's March 20th at the Kewaunee County Highway Department. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.